Happy Sunday. Let me get the chat up. Let's see. Oh, won't it come up? Me and this iPad have had it out. All right. Happy Sunday, ladies. Please go ahead and hit the thumbs up. I have, what do I have tonight? I have Tory Burch. I have a Ella tote that I thought that I previously shared on the channel, but as I was going back through my content, I couldn't find it. And then I also ordered on yesterday morning 2 pairs of Miller sandals, and they were actually delivered this morning. So from order to delivery was literally 24 hours. So I have those. I want to reveal those, and then I'm going to give you back some of your Sunday evening. If this is your first time here, welcome. I do hope you'll stick around for the live stream. Consider subscribing, checking out a few more videos. And if you are a returning subscriber, happy Sunday. Welcome into the chat. Please be sure to hit the thumbs up and let someone else in the tribe know that DA615 is live. So here is my box from Tory. And it was just a little before 9:30 yesterday morning. I was laying in bed and doing some of my Saturday morning retail therapy scrolling. And I decided that it was probably best for me to go ahead and pull the trigger on the Miller sandals, because likely by the time they have the next sale or, discount, that either these colors will not be included, or more likely my size will have sold out. So I decided to go ahead and pull the trigger on 2 pair. And these are their new Miller soft sandals. So I'm curious to see if the footbed and foot sizing for this particular style has changed any from the Miller Classics. I'm hoping not, because I ordered up in size like I normally do. I wear a size 10. In Tory, I size up to a size 11 because I have found that they are cut just a little small. They run a little small, not true to size, at least for my foot, size 10. And this one is in the Tory red. So y'all should have known I wasn't going to be at peace until I got the red ones. So I did, the last time I was in store, which was to return that bright Samba chevron Kira, I did see the Tory red in store, so I at least knew exactly what color it was going to be. And it's more of a blue-based red, and I feel like it's going to match my Dooney Florentine red spot on, like the Hattie and the Tulip and my Russell and my Clayton. I feel like this red is going to match perfectly with those. Now they say it's the soft, and it does have a memory foam footbed, but it's not super squishy, but it is a little bit more padding, it appears, than the regular ones. And this is the 11, and I know you cannot see it, but I feel like it's the same footbed. So definitely size up if you are looking at the Miller soft. I like those. They are likely going to be worn this week. Okay, so that's the first thing. Let's see if I can get these back in here. And they did come with the shoe bag. 24 hours though from order to delivery. That's pretty amazing. The packaging was perfect. And they were initially showing that they were going to deliver on Tuesday, which didn't quite make sense to me considering their distribution center is less than an hour away from me. And it quickly updated again to show delivery today. And they were, I ordered yesterday, I think the timestamp on my email confirmation was like 9:22. And by 9:28 this morning, I was getting them off of the porch. So they were delivered and I wasn't quite ready to come down to get them. So here is the second pair. And this is the pair that I was really excited about. Most, I think, excited about. Because it's in the metallic. And yep, they got the color right. Okay, so this is in the metallic wrinkled leather. It is also the soft Miller, but this one is in the color Spark Gold. You can see that leather is definitely wrinkled, especially compared to the Tory red that we just looked at. But I thought, against my complexion, I love the metallic. They did a couple of years ago have a different gold that was a little bit more antique. If I can find those, I'll definitely pull the trigger, but I was not going to let this pair get by. I don't know what it is about metallics, but bronze, gold, silvers, pewters during the warm weather months, I absolutely love that in bags and shoes and you name it. So I really like these. And this is also the soft, which is newly released. I said yesterday morning, I was done with Tory sandals for the season. But then right before coming on to do the live, I saw that they have introduced now the Miller sandal or Miller cloud lug, which has a much thicker sole. And they had, I think it was 3 colorways. It was green and something for my green lovers. Then they had a black and white, or cream and black. And then the other one I think is black with either yellow or orange soles. So I'm not sure how I feel about those yet, but the cream and black or the black and white, those are definitely ones that caught my attention. So I may go back and check those out, but those are the 2 that I purchased. And these, I said, were going to be it for this season, but we'll see. Okay, so the next item is an item that I purchased a little while ago from Tory, and I thought that I'd shared it on the channel, but I couldn't find it. So maybe I dreamt that I did. So it's on season right now, so I'm going to go ahead and share it so that I can actually move in. And it is another Tory Burch Ella tote. But this one is not in the canvas. It's not in, what is the other one in that I have? Nylon. This one is actually in printed leather. Why do I feel like I've shared this one? maybe I'm confusing it with pictures that I shared with one of my tribe sisters because I could not find it on my channel. But this video may be shorter than I think. Okay, here is the back. And it has this floral semi-scroll paisley print. And then it has the big T logo with the snap pocket on the front, which I absolutely love. This bag does not have feet under the bottom, but instead it has these little raised corner pieces, or I don't know, maybe this is what they're calling the feet under the bottom of this bag, but they aren't traditional hardware or leather strip feet. But let me show you those again a little bit closer, because when I first looked at the bag or got the bag and did the initial inspection, I, kind of pulled it out and held it up and looked and felt the bottom, and I was like, oh, those are big feet. And then, which would have been appropriate, me in a size 10, but it's not. I'm definitely going to spray the bottom of this bag because I do have a tendency to sit my bags down. And after carrying the Cabriolet Russell last summer in white, I know that little things start to pick up really easily. So I do plan to spray the bottom of this bag with my kiwi leather protector. But I love the details in this. Okay, hold on. Let me get the straps and all of that. Good seam on that. Okay, so leather straps. These are pretty thin, but I've not had any issues with the size of the straps on my other Ella totes. This one does have a magnetic closure here on the top, and it has some weight to it. It finds its way. Well, it did the first time. There it is. Okay. All right. So interior. Okay, so here we go with the lining of the bag, which is a light color. Come on. Okay. All right, so there we have the lining. And it does have this light textile, but all of the, pockets and zippers are trimmed in the same leather that makes up the bottom of the bag, the straps. So they are all collared. It has here on the back wall a zipper pocket. You can see the gold hardware both on the zipper pull and the logo plate on the back of the bag, just underneath the zipper. And then on the front, you have a slip pocket that is also generous in size and collared in leather. True to Tory Ella, it still has the snaps on the side. And they've got, let's see if I can get a good angle. You can see that that magnet part sticks out pretty far there. It's kind of hard to see because of the, there we go, against the print of the bag. So it's going to really snap in there and hold. So I really like that because some of the others, this hardware is a little bit hardier on this leather than it is on the nylon or on the canvas. As far as accessories, I did not pull anything out, but I do think that I want to keep it kind of clean. So I'm thinking more taupe or just kind of chalk, ivory, ecru, just because I love this neutral. It is just enough of a design to not be extremely busy. You know, it doesn't have a lot of bold colors, so it should blend. And then, of course, you've got the white accents that will help to balance out the color. I thought about using this one as a handbag, and that is 99.9% of where I plan to use it because that's what I bought it for. But after getting it home and now thinking about work travel, it could work as a good laptop bag as well. So if you're looking for a laptop bag, whether it is a 13 or 15-inch laptop, it would absolutely work in here. You might even be able to get a larger one if you left the sides open and kind of centered your laptop in the middle of the bag. You might be able to get something larger in here. Definitely can get a water bottle, your sunglasses. I'm still wearing a mask, although I realized this week while I was in Pennsylvania that clearly I'm like a dinosaur now wearing my mask because I don't know that anybody in the state had theirs on. But anyway, I really like this. There is a lot of texture in the design of this bag. So it's not just printed. Let me see if I can get a good angle to kind of show you the texture. Let's see. Okay. So I think you can kind of see here that it's actually etched into the leather. So it's not just a screen print on top of the leather that's going to, wear off or scratch off. This is actually a debossed or embossed pattern, and the color is actually in the design. So now this is not, and this is not, but this is all etched into the leather. So you can feel every bit of detail with your fingertips on this part of the bag design. This has a little bit of texture, but it's not nearly as deep or raised as this actual border part here. So there, I have it again a little close, and it does again have the snap pocket here. This pocket, I wasn't 100% sure on my first couple of bags how I was going to use that pocket without distorting, but the Purell hand sanitizer packs, they are perfect inside there because they're flat. I can get quite a few of them in there, and it means that I can sanitize my hands without touching any other part of the bag or going into the body of the bag. So that is usually what I have. If it has the snap pocket on the outside, it has those Purell single packs in the outside. So that is, the more I look at this, the more I love it. Now, it's not going to go with my red Tory sandals, but I do have some orange Mark Fisher sandals that would work with this. Of course, I have the Steve Madden ones If you've been watching my Loving My Soul shoe haul. So I have a few options, including I have a pair of wedges from Ralph Lauren that I think, not Lauren, those are from Kenneth Cole that I think will, are they Kenneth Cole? No, they're not Kenneth Cole. They're Cole Haan. wrong Cole. They're Cole Haan wedges, and they have a little bit of textile that is very, very similar to, honestly, the textile in the interior of the bag, but then the leather details are more white or cream in color, so I think those will pair well. I may pull a few pairs of shoes out and then post some pictures later this evening on Instagram to see what out of my shoe stash I'm going to pair with this bag. I didn't give that much thought when I pulled the trigger on ordering it because I just fell in love with it. And the neutral color. I love the pattern, and I know Tory's patterns are not for everybody and not for every collection, but because there are some that are not for me either. But this one, and then the last Tory that I did, which was more kind of a spring vibe, I actually love those. That one with the green accents, because I don't have a lot of green in my collection, bag wise or even clothing wise. And then this one with the print. I just felt like, even though it's printed, and for somebody they're going to say it's busy, it's not a bold print. And I can pull this off in my wardrobe. So that's why I pulled it out. Let me let you take a look at the side panels again, because that detail continues right to the inside. It has just as much texture as the border around the front and back panels. You've got the same detailing with the flowers, top and bottom, screen print. And then there is this, it's concaved. The side panels are concaved in just a little bit. If you can tell, it's not a straight flat bottom, and then it has a little bit of a stitch here on the side, which will actually allow a little bit more movement in the side of the bag. So see that? And it means that you've got a really, really good seal on the side of the bag, and hopefully it will take some of the stress off of the actual glazed corners, because you've got the stitch work here helping to support those corners so that they don't pop out and cause the glazing to crack. So I like the craftsmanship on this bag. I also love the fact that it's not a super thick glaze, because that can be problematic as well. But it's also not a really thin glaze that's going to be prone to easily cracking with general wear and tear. It's just enough piping to pull. These are pretty thick pieces of leather. This is not a lightweight bag in comparison. This is probably, if this is not the heaviest Ella tote, then this is definitely the second heaviest. I'm just trying to think about my quadrant, because it's both thick canvas and leather. And I want to say that bag has feet, actual hardware feet under the bottom, but I could have that wrong. But I feel like if this is not the heaviest one, then that one is, because of the combination of leather. And this is the heaviest one. This is the heaviest one. That quadrant is a little bit lighter. Yeah, but this, let me see if I can you see how this bag is finished here? Okay, so when I'm looking at bags, because of my experience with Henry Bendel, I'm really sensitive now to how the glazing looks on a bag. This one looks amazing. And even though my other Ellas primarily have stitch work, the quadrant one also has some glazing and leather, and I've not had any issues on that. But if you look here at the top, if you grab one of your bags, and I don't know if I have one here that would, I don't have a bad one. Okay, because I don't, no, that one's good too. Okay, so I don't think I have a bad bag, which is a good thing. Okay, so there are some bags that are finished. I do have a Coach bag that, okay, some bags have glazing all around the edges. My Henry Bendel bag does, and probably my Coach Dempsey 40 would also be a good example of a bag that is going to have glazing all around, right? Which just increases the number of spots or increases the potential that you're going to have glazing issues. Then bag number 2 style is finished and it has a stitch, but the leather, this leather is one piece. It's rolled and finished. So you're less likely to have any kind of wear or craftsmanship issues when the leather is rolled. There's not like a stitch or anything up here that's holding together, so I don't have to worry about that popping. It's reinforced, of course, with the stitches around the handle, and then on the interior down here where the leather is folded, you can see the stitches. The third bag style, which for me is most problematic, and in looking around at the bags that I have close by, I don't have one, and I may not have one in my collection. Maybe a Michael Kors, but that is where you have 2 pieces of either leather or fabric that are folded in on each other, and then the stitches come through to create basically it has a seam here across the top, and then there are 2 pieces of either leather or fabric that are put together and stitched together. Issues with popped stitches, issues with the stitches loosening. Sometimes because there isn't any glazing, that can create an issue as well. So I don't know if I'm gonna say that I probably obsess over stuff like that, and there have been some bags that I purchased knowing that the glazing on it was not my favorite, because it is not my favorite. I prefer to have more tailored, less seams. The more stitches and seams and cuts of leather or fabric or pieces that are put together in order to construct your bag, the more likely you are to have issues with that bag because it has a ton of pressure points. So a bag like this, where you don't have extra stitches across the top, you don't have a ton of extra stitches across the bottom, that is good for me because it's going to be a little bit more secure, less pressure points. You've got more solid material for the weight of your bag to rest on than a bunch of stitches and loose pieces that have been put together. I don't know if that makes any sense. Y'all let me know in the comments. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And let me know, let's see in the comments, what are some of the things that you look for when you're looking at a bag? What are some of the things that you are checking for other than popped stitches. So let me see, did my battery die? Yeah, that one's dead. So I'll have to wait for it to pop up. But I'm curious, what else do you look for when you're looking at a bag? Whether that's online and you're zooming the pictures in and doing a really good inspection, or it could even be in person. Are you just looking at the beauty of the bag, or are you truly looking at the craftsmanship to make sure that it is going to be durable, that it is going to not be prone to show extreme wear in places where it hasn't been heavily used, but because of the way it's put together, it's just more likely to show pop stitches or rubbing or wear, or maybe the glazing is too thin, so you start to see it look like it's sliced off or starting to peel and crack. I know that Coach has had a lot of issues with that. I know that LV has had issues with that. For the first time in my entire Dooney handbag collecting, my, oh my goodness, and I can't check it right now, the little alto bag, why do I want to say her name is Ella too? That's not right. But it had glazing issues, and it just looks like it wasn't, like it's peeling, like it was cut, or it had a break in it and it started to lift. And that's something that, of course, any bag that has glazing, you're subject to. But anytime that you can get, instead of glazing, to get the leather rolled or finished, or it glazes on top, then it will be a little bit more secure, and in my opinion, a little bit more durable. So yeah, because there are a ton of companies that, and I'm gonna throw Michael Kors out there, because is it my Bedford? I think it's on my Bedford. I could be wrong. It only has a single stitch on the side. If you can see here, this is a double stitch line from top to bottom. Now, part of that from a construction standpoint is it needed reinforcement because this is so thick at the top because the leather is rolled. But it also, again, helps to take some of the stress off of the pressure points. And since this is two pieces put together, you've got the glazing, that double stitch is definitely going to help relieve pressure on those stitches and keep them from popping. And this is a really, really tight stitch. There are other bags, other brands, i.e. Dooney, where the stitches are a little bit more spaced apart. I would put, money on the fact that Dooney's, most of those bags are being hand stitched, where they have the stitch holes are being pressed into the leather with a tool, and then they're going to be hand threaded. These are a little bit too consistent on here for me to say that this is hand stitched. This looks more like machine work. And I'll just put that a little bit closer so that you can see they're just really tight, and it's more consistent with a machine than, say, the whip stitch on Florentine, as an example. That opens up really nice, wide. It's airy. Y'all know I cannot stand a bag that has a dark line, and even if it doesn't have red, although red, of course, is my preference, but if it's got a dark line, and I want to be able to put a bag organizer in there because it becomes a black hole. So there we go. The stitch work, even in the lining, is nice and tailored. It doesn't have loose, the lining isn't loose. So there's some bags like Floto, where you can actually grab the lining in the bottom and pull it all the way, you know, up until this top stitches. It's a nice lining. Their linings are actually made in Fort Mill, South Carolina. There's a mill there that actually makes that striped textile lining that goes in Floto bags. But those bags, when they're finished, are not tailored so that the lining is not loose. Floto, as an example, those bags are lined. I don't think that the textile is super high quality. It's not super thick, but it's also, again, not attached or stitched into the bag. So you could literally pull that lining up, and for example, if you got a spot on it, you could take your Tide pen or, you know, your spot cleaner or whatever and clean that lining without having to dig down into the inside of the bag. I don't know if that bothers anyone, but it bothers me when the lining is not tailored. And it may not even be something that you've paid attention to. I'm just sharing with you tonight what I've purchased and some of the details that I look at when I am considering a purchase and trying to determine if it is going to be a fast fashion from a quality standpoint, or if it has the craftsmanship and the potential to be a much longer used bag in my collection. So this one made the cut, and let's see here. Let me get that. Okay, there it is from the front profile. So you get most of the detailing on the side. You miss this border at the top when it's snapped. Of course, when it's open, if it's stuffed, you'll get a full panel, but if not, you get like a little peekaboo there. And there it is from the side or the front. And that's it for me. I'm gonna go play in shoes and accessories and see if I can figure out what I want to pair with this. There was a Nolita, I think it was a 15 in surplus, and this has a tiny bit of green, so that surplus probably would have worked with this one. The grass from Dooney is a little too bright, too much, so that's not gonna work for me. The surplus actually is in here, and then the green, it's more of an olive color, that would work. And then I've got the, just from a color standpoint, this is caramel, and it's the clutch wallet wristlet clutch, what is it, clutch crossbody, clutch pocket. So I could definitely pull a caramel or natural colors to go with it, but I want to see if I can find something with a little bit more pop to it. Or this may be a really good place for me to use some of my ecru and chalk accessories so that it gives it that interior neutral vibe. So that's it for me. If you have not, if you're a mom or someone that you celebrate as a mom, or the mothers in your life, if you have not started shopping, picking up gifts for Mother's Day, I would apply some gentle pressure and tell you to get on it, doggone it, because it's going to be upon you very quickly. I'm done. I'm an early shopper. But anyway, please be sure to hit the thumbs up before you head out. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of the new soft millers. I don't know that there's really a huge difference in those and the original, other than a little bit more padding in the footbed with that memory foam. And then my printed Ella. This one is officially called the Ella Printed Leather Tote. And the print is called the Ditsy Borders. DITSY Borders. So that's what this beauty is. All right, ladies, I'm going to give you back some time this evening. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. If you are fiending for the rest of the hour, please be sure to check out one of my other videos. I would greatly appreciate it. If you would also thumbs up this video, share it with someone else that may have a little bit of a Tory Burch fetish. And I hope you have an amazing week. If you are out and about or in crowds, I would encourage you to reconsider going maskless in groups, because just from a work standpoint, I am starting to see my COVID cases increase across the East Coast. So I am just sharing with you that while the weather is hot, COVID is not yet eradicated. So be careful. Make sure that you're still washing your hands and sanitizing and taking all of the necessary precautions. And until next time, I do hope you find something that feeds your addiction. Take care, everyone.